Hello, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching NDTV. Now, in a bid to drum up support against the delimitation exercise, the DMK has intensified its outreach to regional leaders, now including those within the NDA, and those parties that have been equidistant from both the NDA and also the India bloc until recent elections. Now, a DMK delegation comprising Tamil Nadu Forest Minister K. Ponmudi and Rajya Sabha MP Mohammed Abdullah met Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah at his Bengaluru residence today as part of these efforts. And this was just a day after another DMK delegation met former Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik. DMK leaders also met with TDP State President Palla Srinivasa Rao in Vijayan, extending an official invite from the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin for the South Indian All-Party Leaders meeting on the 22nd of March. Now, all of this is to discuss the larger implications of the delimitation exercise on states that have implemented effective population control policies. Remember, TDP is an important constituent of the ruling NDA with 16 MPs. DMK party leaders have also met YSR-CP leaders today, urging party chief and former Andhra Chief Minister Mohan Reddy to participate in discussions on delimitation. Now, the Chief Minister of Karnataka, Siddaramaiah, has posted a message saying that he extends support to the DMK-led opposition against the delimitation exercise. Besides the southern states of Andhra, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Telangana, Stalin also hopes to include Odisha, Punjab and West Bengal in the GAC. But the moot question here is, will the DMK succeed in drumming up support for concerns it has raised over the delimitation exercise? What is the larger political message that the DMK is trying to send out here? Is M.K. Stalin also trying to give a political color to a much-needed administrative exercise? Or is he just trying to caution states on what they stand to lose? Before I bring in my guest, let's listen in to some political reactions.
பிறக்க போகுது உங்களுக்கு பிறக்க போகுது உடனே குழந்தை பெற்றுக்கோங்க நிறைய பெற்றுக்காதீங்க ஒன்றிய அரசு குடும்ப கட்டுப்பாடை வலியுறுத்தி ஜனத்தொகை அதிகமா இருக்கு அதனால கட்டுப்படுத்தணும்னு சொல்லுது ஒன்றிய அரசு அதை வெற்றிகரமா செஞ்சு கொடுத்தது தமிழ்நாடு அதற்காக இப்ப நம்ம தண்டிக்கப்படுறோம் இந்த டீலிமிட்டேஷன் மட்டும் வந்துருச்சுன்னா 8 தொகுதி கம்மியாகி 31 தொகுதி ஆயிடும் ஆனா இந்த குடும்ப கட்டுப்பாடு சரியா பண்ணாத சரியான மக்கள்கிட்ட சரியான விழிப்புணர்வு ஏற்படுத்தாத மாநிலங்கள் இதனால பெனிஃபிட் அடைய போறாங்க வட மாநிலங்கள் இருக்கக்கூடிய வட மாநிலங்கள்லாம் 100 தொகுதி வரைக்கும் இதனால பெறப்போகுது.
Proposal has been there that they are going to reduce number of seats in the southern part of this country. So I am very happy that Mr. Stalin, being the chief minister and a senior leader from the south, I have decided to call a meeting and form a joint action committee to fight against this. We have to fight for our rights. So officially they came and invited me and the Honorable Chief Minister. So whatever High Command decides, because our party also have to take a call on this.
Okay, we have Leher Singh Suroya with us. He's a Rajya Sabha MP from the BJP. We have Selam Taranidharan, who's the national spokesperson of the DMK. We have Dr. Suman C. Raman, who is a political analyst. We also have Pulla Rao, who is also a political analyst. Thank you all of you for joining me on this broadcast. Leher Singh, sir, to you, sir. How do you see the support that Siddaramaiah has given to DMK today? You are from the state of Karnataka, but you also have origins in the north of India. How do you see this larger battle? Do you see this as a north versus south battle? And how do you see DMK's efforts when it comes to raising what he says caution against delimitation?
डिलिमिटेशन के बारे में बात करने के पहले मैं सिद्धरामैया जी को और डी.के. कुमार को याद दिलाना चाहूँगा जो रीजनल कोऑपरेशन के जो बात कर रहे हैं उसमें कावेरी के पानी को लेकर के हमारे साथ कर्नाटक के साथ लगातार अन्याय होता रहा है और हमारे को पीने के पानी से भी वंचित किया जा रहा है बेंगलोर को और पीने के पानी की समस्या के बावजूद सारी तरह से हथकंडे अपना करके डीएमके की सरकार ने वर्षों तक हमारे साथ अन्याय किया है। पहले उस कोऑपरेशन की बात करें और डी.के. कुमार जी से मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है, सिद्धरामैया जी की रिक्वेस्ट है, कभी अपना इन गुड ऑफिसर्स का यूज़ करके कावेरी समस्या का हल पहले करें। और जहाँ तक कर्नाटक और तमिलनाडु के बारे में है तो हमारे यहाँ तमिल की बहुत बड़ी पॉपुलेशन है और हमने कभी भी तमिल भाषियों के साथ में कोई अन्याय नहीं किया है, जबकि तमिलनाडु में किसी भी अन्य भाषा के लोगों के साथ अन्याय हो रहा है, हम सब देखते हैं। और रीजनल कोऑपरेशन की जो बात ये कर रहे हैं, मैं समझता हूँ कि आगे भी कई मुख्यमंत्रियों ने इस तरह का प्रयास किया है और उनका क्या हालत हुआ है आप सबको मालूम है, मैं दोहराना नहीं चाहता। और स्टालिन अपना गढ़ संभाल लें, क्योंकि 55 वर्ष के इनके और उसमें से अधिकांश टाइम पे डीएमके ने राज किया है। और आज जिनके साथ ये बैठ कर के बातें कर रहे हैं सिद्धरामैया जी और उनके साथ में, और जिन राहुल गांधी को अपना बड़ा भाई बताते हैं, उनको ये भूल गए कि उनके इंदिरा गांधी जी ने उनको जेल में डाला था, उनको सरकार से हटाया था, और उनको क्या क्या उनको टॉर्चर नहीं किया था। उनके स्टालिन जी के पिताजी जो आदरणीय करुणानिधि जी जो वहाँ मुख्यमंत्री रहे हैं, उन सब बातों को भूल गए और किस तरह के उन पर आरोप लगे और किस तरह का उनका प्रताड़ित किया गया। आज सब वो बातें भूल करके अपने इस भ्रष्टाचार को छुपाने के लिए और ये डायनेस्टिक रूल को कायम रखने के लिए ये आज दूसरे राज्यों में जा रहे हैं। और मैं समझता हूँ कोई उनका कुछ भला होने वाला नहीं है और उनको आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के उस पर बात पर भरोसा करना चाहिए, जिसमें बारंबार कहा है कि साउथ के किसी भी राज्य के साथ में कोई अन्याय नहीं होने दिया जाएगा। मुझे लगता है कि आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की बात का हम सबको भरोसा करना चाहिए। और मैं स्टालिन जी से भी ये रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ कि ये ओछी राजनीति नहीं करके और एक देश के मेन धारा के साथ जुड़ करके केंद्रीय सरकार के साथ मिलकर के इन बातचीत का समस्या का हल निकालें।
Right. Selam Tannidaran, I know the language debate is playing out here. Do you want me to translate what Mr. Singh said? Because he's saying that when the center has clearly given out...
Yeah, understood.
Yes, that's great. So when the center has given out assurances, why is your chief minister, why is the chief minister of Tamil Nadu trying to jump the gun here? That's the allegation here.
The point is justice. Our ஆங்கில விவாதத்தில் தமிழில் பேசும்போது, ஹிந்தியில் பேசும்போது நானும் தமிழில் பேசலாம். But considering the fact that your channel is an English channel, I will speak in English itself. But if you can speak in Hindi, I can speak in Tamil, right? So, but firstly and foremost, he exposed the entire problem with the entire issue, right? He didn't speak anything about delimitation. The debate is about delimitation. Delimitation is not about north-south. It is about justice. It's about the country. We do not want anyone in the country to be left out. But again, the fact of the matter is justice. The total fertility rate of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, Kerala is lower than the replacement level, 1.6 to 1.8. Why? Because we, in the national interest in the 1970s, we understood the government's, the union government's two-child policy and we cooperated. That is why. So now how can we penalize? That is the point number one. And point number two, developed state which contribute higher in taxes are also those that have higher TFR number. And point number three is that if TFR rate is only below replacement level, and you're going to continuously demark constituencies based on delimitation, what will eventually happen is that now maybe from 25%, it will become 17%, the proportion of representation from South India. But by 2050, it will go less than 10% because population in these states will reduce. And TFR rate in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar is about 3.5, which means the population there will exponentially increase. So when every census, after every decadal census, if we are going to reconstitute based on population, which means the proportion will drastically keep going down. Which means that 90% of this geographical, 90% of people in this country won't have a say.
Okay, so right? That you're saying is not fair. Mr. Leher Singh, would you like to respond to that, sir?
Yes, I will. See, they must believe Honorable Prime Minister when he assured that no justice will be done to any state, whether it is Tamil Nadu or South India. And I would like to say that we must wait and we should talk to the central government and talk to our national party and they come out with some conclusion what is happening and they can express their grievances in the front of the Prime Minister and the central government. No injustice will be done to anybody. And delimitation, I want to highlight one point. Then Karnataka had 27 seats earlier. After delimitation, it has gone to 28 seats. So seats was increased in the Karnataka and it is continued with 28 seats. And I am very sure that Honorable Prime Minister and our central government will do justice to all concerned states. So they should not be fear and they should not create this type of confusion in the minds of people.
Okay, Mr. Dharnidaran, you wanted to say something.
No, I think they are confusing. The fact of the matter is very simple. The number of seats may not go down, but the proportion of seats will go down, the percentage of seats. Even in Karnataka, when the seats increased from 27 to 28, the percentage of seats that Karnataka represents in the parliament did go down. because the overall seats increased by 60, I think, in 1971, but then the seat for Karnataka increased only by 1, right? So even though Tamil Nadu seat might increase by 9 or 8 or 5, yeah, but the proportion of seats that Tamil Nadu sends to the parliament will reduce from 7.18% to 5%. That exactly is the problem. Even Amit Shah and Prime Minister Modi, when they spoke, they said the seats won't reduce, but what eventually happens, the percentage of seats will reduce. And more importantly, we have a first past the poll majoritarian system in India, whereby the winner takes it all. So it's easy for a party like BJP to get only 35% vote share and get 55% of the entire seats, which means when the number of seats will disproportionately increase in the northern belt where BJP has a lot of electoral dominance, and that seat will increase, what will happen is they will get only 34% in those handful of states, and then they'll be able to rule the entire country, irrespective of them getting 10% or 20%.
Okay. Before I go to the analyst, quickly a response from Mr. Leher Singh, because Salem Tannitharan is saying that all of this is being politically driven and this will only benefit the BJP or national parties, sir.
I would like to point out to DMK and others and Honorable Stalin, Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, that solution is with the central government, with the Honorable Prime Minister, not with the Siddaramaiah and DK Kumar and others, because they are fighting on their own battles. So they can't have any solution. And our Honorable CM of Karnataka and Stalin, they could not reach in the conclusion of the even Kaveri water. So what solution they can sort it out?
Okay, now I'll have to go to Dr.
Request ये है कि
आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री Vasudha, Kaveri issue can be discussed later. This is about delimitation.
Okay.
Right. I have been on numerous debates. Why is can the Prime Minister give an assurance that proportion of parliamentarians from south of India won't be reduced?
No, sometimes, the quantum of support also comes from these kind of altercations,
Sir,
right?
Bangalore
If two states have...
Bangalore
Yes, Mr. Singh.
Our drinking water is a very essential for drinking water for Bangalore is very essential. We are being
no
deprived of that.
It's an essential or not
This is
essential.
more important for Siddaramaiah and DK Kumar.
Okay. That's right. Thank you, Mr. Singh. And let me also bring in Dr. Sumant Raman here. Dr. Raman, how do you see the support from a state like Karnataka? Because clearly, there are historical altercations that have happened between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. And I know that these are different issues. But what does this mean for the efforts of the Chief Minister, M.K. Stalin? He had earlier spoken to Siddaramaiah over the phone and they had reinforced some sense of cooperation on this issue. And also tell us the significance of this March 22nd meeting, because the Chief Minister is saying that this is an initial step towards unified action to chart out what he's calling collective course forward. Do you see DMK succeeding in getting the support that it wants?
I think almost certainly this meeting will get support from most of the states who have been invited. Look, the southern states are unanimously against delimitation in its present form. So this is not, and some have already openly expressed it. Now, if the Congress chooses not to participate, they will be sort of isolated along with the BJP, and then it would not, augur well for them. So the question is, the people of the state. This is an emotive issue. You can tell the people that they're, for all practical purposes, they are being in some ways disenfranchised because they have done well. And because they have followed the rules of the diktats of the center in controlling their population. So I think what will happen, TRS has already, KTR has already said that they are on board. So you will find that every political party, barring the BJP, will willy-nilly be forced to take a stand. I think Naveen Babu has also said that there may be a representative from the BJD who will also be participating in this meeting. So I think that there is a broad understanding that a new formula needs to be worked out. Now, it's clear that this is not going to happen in 2026 because the census itself has not started. So minimum duration is this delimitation process is at least 2 to 3 years away. Everybody knows that. But having said that, maybe the center, instead of keeping this uncertainty going and refusing to take a stand, they could come up with alternate formula. They could invite all political parties, all state governments for talks. And they could have a debate on this. But they are not doing that. So in any case, in its present form, it's a non-starter. Vasudha, the southern part of India simply will not accept the delimitation in its present form.
Okay.
And I think complete unanimity on that. If the BJP wants to take a contrary line, they will be completely isolated.
Okay, Mr. Pullarao, how do you see Stalin also seeking support from parties which are part of NDA, such as the TDP? Because TDP has already said that they will wait for more clarity on the delimitation process. Is it also going beyond what the realm of possibilities, the realm of reality, or is he actually trying to build, a southern alliance against the BJP?
No, I think Mr. Stalin has taken up this issue at the right time. There's no point taking up after it becomes impossible to solve, impossible to understand. He has taken up at the right time. Our MP, Honorable MP, should agree with that. That's his job. And secondly, one thing about this proportion, which I'd like to make a little clarification. Let us say the number of seats goes up to 800, and UP gets its proportion what it got now, and Tamil Nadu gets it. Even then the gap will increase on actual numbers. The gap will increase. The main thing is, in a country, literally we are a very young democracy, only 75 years. There's no need to rush through things. There's no need of the big idea. The big idea is to have 888 MPs or something because so many seats are there in Lok Sabha. This will create a very imbalanced situation. I want to ask, what is the point of this? We are only 75 years. Indira Gandhi brought about the 42nd Amendment in 1976. Vajpayee, BJP Prime Minister, brought it in 2002, freeze the seats and then rotate within the thing, wait for some time. There's a lot of population movement in the country also. Millions of people are coming from Northeast India, Odisha to southern states. Eventually they will live there. Why the rush? Once you create certain formulas, now you won't be able to change it.
But Dr. Pullarao, it's the BJP that's not even rushed into this because we don't even have the census yet. Delimitation seems to be something that is going to happen later.
Small thing, Masuda. According to the law passed in 2002, if you start the delimitation today, there is no need of a new census. The law says if you start delimitation in 2026, then the census comes into force.
Okay.
Literally speaking, right now, as I understand it, and anybody can correct me, they can have delimitation straight away without the census. It's only 2026 that law said, 2002. Whatever it is, I agree with Mr. Revanth that, the government should not wait till issues reach crisis proportion.
Okay.
And then they should start talking, start trying to find out. And, for example, if there was a marginal increase of 2%, 3% seats, everybody is okay with that. But this kind of massive increase by 100 seats, 150 seats is unnecessary.
Okay, Mr. Leher Singh, you heard the panelist out. Thank you so much for patiently waiting out. Mr. Leher Singh, when southern leaders argue that states like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, Andhra have successfully controlled population and significantly contributed to national economy, and yet they could lose parliamentary seats. Now they're all quoting different numbers. We don't have, the current population census as well, and the Delimitation Commission is yet to be constituted. Do you see this becoming a North versus South debate even before the process of putting in place the Delimitation Commission starts?
It cannot be South versus North, and I pray to DMK and other my friends to believe in the Prime Minister and the central government. They will not do any injustice to any state. And the right forum is to discuss at the central level and the parliament and that in committee, not here in the 3, 4, 5 parties and all together. And if they could do better, if they can join hands, Siddaramaiah and Stalin, and solve the Kaveri problem for Karnataka, that will be more better for us. I think I request Nikesh Kumarji, Siddaramaiah again use their good offices to solve the Kaveri problem, which is the drinking water problem for Bangalore and south of Karnataka.
Okay.
So they will do better job, and this delimitation, they should leave on the central government and assure on the Prime Minister that no injustice will be done to any state. I can assure them. That's all.
Salem Danditaran, Leher Singh's advice to you is leave local issues to politicians and local state government parties, and national issues will be sorted out by the Prime Minister and Home Minister. What do you have to say on that?
This is baffling. We represent the interests of people, and also this is delimitation interests of the country. I will even give it to the northern states. Okay, they are saying that okay, Sikkim and parliamentarian represents only 500,000 people. In Uttar Pradesh, a parliamentarian represents 4 million people. Okay,
But
there are
Danny, my
solutions.
only question to you is,
No,
sir,
but I have solutions. No, I have
listen,
very important
when it
point.
comes to the NEP, I know that there has been a trigger because there's a document that is in place. But when it comes to delimitation, I know that, yes, of course, there is something that is going to come up. But the fact is, there have been repeated assurances by the leadership of the BJP as well. So it is different from NEP here, where you really have a document in place. Do you think that combining a lot of these ideological issues also gives you, your party, the kind of political gravitas or ammunition that you're looking for, and that is why you're also picking this up?
No, I want to make an important point. So I'll tell you, I got a question. But compared to a work bill or one nation, one election bill or even NEP, or delimitation is something that's there in the constitution. Article 82 says it is demarking the constitution based on the population. Delimitation committee will be set up and the committee's findings are final. It's not even disputed, it can't even be disputed in the court because it's an article. But why was it frozen? Not to disincentivize states. Why did Vajpayee again freeze it for 25 years? Because he didn't want to disincentivize states that were good in population control, and he knows it's a Pandora box that can destroy the country's unity. He knew very well. That's why I'm saying I'm going to give only 2 solutions. It's very important. Just listen to me. The first solution is, if you have a problem that maybe representation is a problem in the northern belt, just increase the seats by 3 for all the states. Into 3. For example, UP seats become 240, Tamil Nadu seats become 117, which means the proportion remains fixed. Right, like UK has about, for a population 1/10 of India, has about 600 parliamentarians. Increase it by 3 times or 4 times, all the states. Or second solution is, put a temporary freeze, bring all the chief minister to consultative process.
Okay.
So the freeze will remain unless a solution is arrived.
Okay.
But why the freeze is very important is, when December 31st, 2025 will happen, and then 26 will happen, the delimitation will be based only on population because it's the constitution. That's why the freeze is important, either permanent or temporary.
Right. Closing remarks from Dr. Raman. Would you like to say something on this, sir? Because this, the formula that Salem Dhanidhar is also talking about might go against the principle of representation, right? And that is also something that is promised to us. How is the centre going to find a balance between democracy and federalism here?
No, I think we have to understand that the constitution itself has been amended numerous times over the years, over the decades. So there is nothing which prevents the centre from saying, look, there are certain things with regards to delimitation which cannot be carried out in its present form.
Okay.
And therefore we need to come up with a formula that is acceptable to all the states.
That's a formula that's acceptable to everybody.
Either federalism or it's a question of basically being fair and just to everybody in this country.
Right. Thank you so much for joining me on this broadcast, completely out of time. And thank you so much for joining me with those insights. The DMK has been reaching out to leaders of different political parties to discuss the delimitation issue, also trying to drum up support. But how will the centre react to this politically and at a policy level will be watched very closely.